It's movie night with JL Media. We are back at Hamilton 16 IMAX. We're doing it live. Miss Mandy Montgomery.
Hey.
Dude, look at this packed house we have here.
This is awesome. And there are cosplayers everywhere.
Everywhere.
I saw a stormtrooper and a bunch of creatures that I don't know what they are, but our guests will know what they are.
That's why we have them here. To
That's
my
right.
far right is the man himself, Mr. Jamie Jackson of Sam Ash. Hey, brother.
Hello.
How you doing, man?
I am great. How are you tonight?
I did not know until a couple of weeks ago you were a huge Star Wars guy.
Yes, I'm one of those guys that doesn't really talk about it a whole lot because I just don't talk a whole lot unless I'm talking about Johnny Lyles.
Well, you're a musician here in town, and through Sam Ash, you know pretty much every musician in town. So that gives us a lot to talk about when we're together.
Absolutely. All the gossip, all the buzz, who's doing what.
So y'all think we're kidding out there. No, he is dead serious. We spend a lot of time in his office just talking about y'all. So what's up?
Hey.
He's one of the ash holes. You know, that's great.
He acts like he's been there, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
To his left, we have the duo, Brandon and Cullen from Cult Cinema Cavalcade. Gentlemen.
Good evening, John Lyles.
It's an honor to be a part of your show, Jonathan.
Excited to talk about Star Wars.
As listeners of JL Media know that Cullen and Brandon have been around a little bit with me. They talk about older movies and rehash them, rag on them. They get through this
Celebrate.
whole thing.
Celebrate, yeah.
Okay.
We have
celebrate.
laughs.
Yeah. Now, we're talking about Battle Beyond the Stars tonight, right? That's what we're doing?
Nice.
Battle Beyond the Stars and Star Crash.
Corman Classic.
Now you guys have you actually seen the movie already.
Yep.
We saw it last night. We couldn't wait.
Okay, we're not going to do many spoilers on here.
No,
but-
not at all.
Nope, no
But
spoilers.
do we get a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
That's a spoiler, Johnny.
No, it's a personal opinion, Brandon. It is a personal
Oh,
opinion.
jeez.
Personal opinion. No, we thumbs up easily.
Definitely thumbs up.
Because I'm
yes.
looking at some of the other people on the internet, and they can't put anything on the internet that's not true. There's a lot of different viewpoints about this new movie.
Anyone that
I think
doesn't
it's
like
It's
it,
mostly positive, though.
anyone that doesn't like it, their opinion is wrong.
Okay,
And that's a fact.
And that comes straight from the mouth of Cullen from Cult Cinema Cavalcade. We love having you guys up here. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we demanded to be a part of this show. So
We like Mandy, so we keep coming back. So.
yeah.
Hey, well, we
That's
like
what it is.
mostly we like Mandy, but however,
Hey,
sometimes
now.
she can be a little.
Hey now.
A little
let's stop.
controlling.
Sometimes manipulative.
You know what? I think Mandy markets this show and does an awesome job. Just
Speak-
saying.
Double
Speaking
M.
of doing an awesome job, we need to
Yes.
give a shout out to the sponsor, Mandy.
Absolutely we do. So, of course we have this awesome theater, Goodrich Hamilton 16 IMAX, but we also have to give a shout out to our friends over at Habitat for Humanity of Hamilton County. The executive director, Jason, can't be with us tonight because he doesn't have a voice. And, being on the radio does require a voice. But
That's one disability you cannot have. Yes.
yeah, but he does want to let everybody know that this month, during the month of December, they are running 25% off the entire Habitat for Humanity restore up off of 96th Street. So
Wow.
25% off all month. So
That is very cool. Get into the restore if you need anything whatsoever.
Tell them Johnny Lyles sent you.
That's what I was
and
about to
receive
say.
a
That's
free
right.
smile.
And hugs. They give out hugs there as well. Speaking of giving out hugs, you got a lot going on at Sam Ash, Jamie.
Absolutely.
What's happening over there?
Oh, man. Right now, we actually have the Gibson bus in
Yeah.
town. You can come out and see several amazing Gibson guitars. We have the Ash Rock Christmas Holiday Spectacular that's about to happen. It starts actually now, and it goes until it doesn't.
Okay.
Until you're done with it.
It goes until it doesn't.
Yeah, it just keeps on going. It's the gift that keeps on giving in retail with loud noises.
We neglected to mention that Sam Ash is a sponsor of JL Media today and Movie Night with JL Media, where we are tonight.
Absolutely. Very proud
So
sponsor.
any of this equipment look familiar to you?
No, where the fuck did you get it?
We love you guys over there.
He wanted
man.
to ask you where you got the
He
equipment.
wanted to ash me?
Yeah.
Zinga.
Cult Cinema Cavalcade. What's the new one coming up?
Invasion USA, starring Chuck Norris as he saves Florida during Christmas time from terrorists.
That's a perfect Christmas movie, isn't it?
It's perfect. Brilliant.
People talk about Home Alone and Die Hard and everything. No one talks about Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I don't know why. Anyone that's a fan of denim would probably really like the movie. There's a lot of denim, a lot of guns, and a lot of explosions. Yes.
When does that come out?
Monday.
Oh, very cool.
We actually have right now, of course, our previous episode was Ewoks Battle for Endor because we did.
Yes, it was.
Last year
Jamie.
last year we did Caravan of Courage, the first Ewok movie when Force Awakens came out. So we finished it off with Battle for Endor, and then as a surprise, bonus episode, we did a book review on a movie podcast. That's what people tune into, of a book called Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It's a 1978 Star Wars novel that followed Empire Strikes Back and immediately was like removed from canon.
Wow.
No, it
followed the first Star Wars movie. I'm sorry, but
Yes,
when
yes.
Empire Strikes Back came out, it was like gone.
Yeah, it was like a fallback sequel.
If the movie didn't make money, the first Star Wars, like this was their way to do a cheap sequel.
and it feels like a cheap sequel. Even just reading it feels like a cheap sequel.
Lots of travel, and nothing happening in that.
You know what everyone's favorite thing about the Star Wars movies is walking. People love that, and boy howdy, is there ever a lot of that.
And they walk for like Johnny. It's not like they walked for a while. They walk for like 5 days, and then they walk for 3 days. They have like a 10-day trip they have to take at one point. It's
the only thing more exciting is actually reading about walking.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
and it's very much reading about walking.
I think
the amount of time in this book could be longer than all of the original movies combined.
Yes.
I think Jamie is a fan of denim. He is also the drummer in a very popular band here in town named Moxie, who just released a new video. What's going on with the video, man? That was very cool.
It was filmed on location at Tapper's Arcade in Fountain Square. We had an 80s Come As You Are vibe, and it ended up being a lot more steamy, a lot more lust-driven than we had initially planned, and we are not complaining.
There were a lot of kissing scenes that looked pretty interesting, man.
That was a lot of fun. I don't know if my favorite is my lead singer Jessie and her girlfriend Lee making out for an hour inside of the race car, or the Alf orgy.
Okay, and tell us the name of the video so we can go check it out.
It's
Mel Mackin.
Absolutely. It's Give It To Me. If you just search under YouTube Moxie, that's Moxxie, it'll pop up, but the name of the song is Give It To Me.
It'll pop up.
So for you Alf-rotica fans out there.
Oh, there's 3 of them, and they love it. All 3 have commented, and they had their 2 friends each comment.
Way to go, Furbies.
Alf, would you stop kissing the cat
Hey, there wasn't a cat he didn't like.
and leave Kate alone in the shower?
All these things happen on the show.
Jamie, you have not seen Rogue One yet, correct?
I have not.
What are you looking forward to now? What do you think's gonna? I mean, you've seen the trailer as they bring you your meal tonight.
Oh my goodness. I actually was gonna like jump in and do a little bit of backstory research and kind of fill in some of the blanks, but I decided not to because I like the surprise of what happens.
Sure.
I like some of the not knowing within the story guidelines, and I'm a big nut for the lighting and the special effects. So as long as the sound is really good, which I imagine it to be, and the storyline to be really good, again, I expect it to be, I'm going to be really thrilled.
Well, these guys sitting beside you, they do a lot of research when they're preparing for their show, much unlike me.
Yeah.
But I was actually going to go and check out this movie and dive into it as much as I could. I just hadn't had time. I've got other shows. I'm trying to keep my sponsors happy, man. I got to get Sam Ash, make sure they're happy with me.
Sam Ash is very happy with you. I think you need to worry about keeping Mandy happy with you.
Yeah, Mandy is a little, she's happy-ish with me. So we are making that work. Now, we can talk a little bit about the movie, guys, without giving away spoilers, because I heard it's all over the internet that there's no real Jedi battles or
No, that was
like
kind of the purpose of the movie. It was to make a non-Jedi movie, like focusing on the Rebels, like pre the original Star Wars movie, because at that time the only person strongly using the Force around this time is the Emperor and Darth Vader, and then you have like Obi-Wan and Yoda, but they're in hiding. So this is focusing on the Rebel Alliance who don't have any Jedis. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon, which is in canon, they do have a couple Jedis, but they're not like fully trained Jedis that are around. But there's always Force-sensitive people, and there's the mysticism of the Force is always around during this time. But there's the point of this movie was to see what they could do without having to crutch onto that.
We're going to get back into that in just a minute, but the main man just sat down with us, Mr. Mitch Ross of Hamilton 16 IMAX. Hey, brother.
Hi.
How you doing?
Man, I'm good.
Man, you got another full house in here.
Yeah, I love Star Wars Day. It's awesome.
They are. Look at them even upstairs. You got you got stuff going on. There's buffets set up here. What's happening?
Oh, yeah, we've got a group up there. They bought out a bunch of tickets and are hanging out.
Okay. God bless them.
Are they supposed to be taking their pants off? I'm just kidding, Mitch. Just kidding.
They pay extra for that, is what
we all celebrate this season our own way.
That's
I see. I see. Jamie Jackson of Sam Ash down on the corner and Mitch Ross of Hamilton 16 IMAX. Mitch is a quasi-musician as well. He's also a screenwriter, and recently he became an actor, which I heard he did pretty good.
I don't know about all that.
That's awesome, man.
But the filmmakers are very pleased with you. How did it go?
It was fun. It's always I love doing stuff like that, so it's always a blast. But
that was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. For everyone who's listening, and now that Mitch has met him and you guys doing your show, when you go into Sam Ash, tell them that you're friends of mine. I sent you in there 15% right off the top. Tell them, Jane.
15% off because Johnny says so.
Have you seen the movie, Mitch?
I have.
Okay. We're not going to give away the spoilers, of course, but
Boo.
Is there anything that you can let us know about?
Well, I don't know what you guys have covered so far, but I loved it. I think they did a really good job of playing in the Star Wars sandbox, showing us things we want to see. You know, I think Star Wars is a lot of great things, but sometimes I kind of think about when I'm watching the films, like about the people and their everyday lives. Like it kind of starts off on that foot when in the very first movie, when they're at a moisture farm and you see there's some people who are just kind of farmers. It's the future, but they're just, working 12-hour days and drinking blue milk and kind of living their lives. But
people need their moisture.
Yeah, but I mean, I think this movie kind of shows you a different look, a kind of a grittier, more down-to-earth look that's kind of in that vein, which I really enjoyed. And I do think the story's excellent. The characters are pretty realized, and it's a great film. I really enjoyed the heck out of it.
So we're looking at a $200 million budget.
Sure.
You think they spent it well, or?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't pull any punches.
What you're saying?
Yeah, it's probably more than $200 million because they had an extensive reshoot for it, which probably upped it.
They'll make their money back.
But no, they'll make. I mean, Disney. I mean, they purchased it was like what, $4 billion, $5 billion.
Yeah.
And they purchased this, and they're already far along to making more off that. I mean, just off movies, not even including.
Merchandise and
yeah.
TV shows and whatever else. Yeah.
So
did anyone hear about the total we were at last night? Where are we looking at box office wise?
It was like 30 last night or close to.
Yeah.
Seventh. I think it was like the 7th highest midnight screening of all time.
Very nice. Absolutely very nice. Hamilton 16 IMAX is where we're doing it. It is a movie night with JL Media. This is what we're doing through 17 as well, Mitch. We're going to change a few things up here. We're going to work on the format, and we're going to be here through 17. We got some good movies coming out next year. But what have you got coming up down the pipe for your throwback movies, your flashbacks?
Flashbacks has some great classics. We're going to be doing Gone with the Wind. That's on the next frame. We're doing Aliens, which I haven't seen on the big screen since I was, 11 maybe?
Wow.
So I'm super excited about that. So we've got some good stuff on there. It Happened One Night's on that list. I really love getting to see the black and white movies, the classics. What's left in the holiday season, we've got It's a Wonderful Life coming up. We're actually doing 3 performances of that. We're all, in addition to it, Sunday and Wednesday, we're doing one on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
So that should be fun. We've got The King and I coming up, which the one with Yul Brynner.
Mm-hmm.
beautiful film. I've always wanted to see that one on the big screen and haven't. So,
Brandon, what year was that? The King
and I don't know the year.
Okay,
on
you're
that
just
one.
my go-to for producers and
Is
years.
it 68?
It's probably 60s.
Yeah, it'd have to be late. I believe late 60s.
All right, then. All right, then. So we're doing Christmas Day here as well. Are we open, or what are we doing?
Yeah, we're open every day of the year. Christmas
Your
Eve,
wife has to love that.
She does. Christmas Eve, I think our last show starts between 4 and 5 o'clock. Christmas Day, our first show starts around 3:30.
Right.
So,
is it business as usual, or you run a skeleton crew?
Oh, no. Last year, I think we did, in 5 hours, we did 9,000 people.
Wow.
So it gets pretty busy.
Oh, my God. Jamie, you ever been to the movies on Christmas Day?
Yes, I have several
Really?
times.
Good time.
Yeah.
Okay, I
You
guess
get get done with the family activity and you want to do something fun, you go to the movies.
Yeah, but that's how my family did it too.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we might do one each.
I think I'm already done with the family activity and I haven't even started yet. Yeah. Or they're done with me. I mean, you know which way it goes in my world, Jamie.
Absolutely. Both ways.
Cool. No, it doesn't. Okay, now that could be taken wrong, and it probably was by a few listeners out there, but y'all just bite me. Cold Cinema Calvalcade. What do you guys got coming up for 17?
Let's see.
More episodes.
Well, the next episode is a 90s movie. End of Days. That's what we're doing. The next episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger. What would you call that? Apocalyptic movie, or almost? Or?
It's an end of it's a Y2K scare, end of the end of the world, end of the century movie. Arnold versus the potential birth of the Antichrist. That's pretty much what it is. It's his follow-up to the hugely successful Batman and Robin.
I remember enjoying End of Days. Now, to be fair, I've not seen it since it was in the theater.
I haven't seen it since the theater either.
It could be a complete turd burger. I don't know, but I'm willing to watch it and give it a chance.
Yeah.
It has to be better than the Battle for Endor. It has to be better than that.
Yep. Or Neil Breen movies.
Or Neil Breen movies, yes.
I have a question. I saw that Riff Tracks had done something on this. You guys remember The Sword and the Sorcerer?
Mm-hmm.
Sword and the Sorcerer. That sounds familiar, yes.
The guy that's got the shooting swords. I remember loving that movie as a kid, and I was like, how could anybody ever make fun of this movie? And I thought of you guys and was wondering if you had ever done a piece on it, or I know sometimes you do, like, I think you guys did Beastmaster.
We've done 2 Deathstalkers.
Deathstalkers,
Yes.
okay.
We'll probably get to Beastmaster at some point.
Cullen's not a big fantasy guy, so I got to give him a break between stuff like that.
I need several months in between those movies.
Because I could load up on some of those old fantasy ones, but
I sit there and wait for them to end when I watch a fantasy movie.
Hey, you like Deathstalker too?
Well, everyone loves Deathstalker too. That was
okay.
That was one for the ages.
Everyone loves Deathstalker.
Which have swords, like a lightsaber, into that Star Wars carries.
Yes.
Nice segue.
Segue it roughly back
Okay.
into.
Okay.
Yeah, there was less clothing in the Beastmaster movies than this, or the Deathstalker movies, which is what we were talking about.
Okay.
Sorry, I had a moment there.
You say fantasy and he just drifts off, huh?
That's right. I just imagine people not wearing clothes, period.
Okay. Is there a downside to this movie, Cullen?
Deathstalker?
No, no, we've moved on from that.
Which downside to Deathstalker?
I thought we were just changing the show to the Deathstalker fan podcast.
No, we can't do that at all. No.
All right.
Live from Hamilton 16. It's a movie they'll never show.
Yeah. I think the downside of this movie is it had to end. Was
Really?
the downside? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. The first 2 acts of the movie are very good. And when I was watching it, I thought, oh, this is pretty good. I'm not sure where it ranks with the others, but I'm having a good time. And then the 3rd act started, and oh man, I was gripping the seat and my jaw was open, and man, it was awesome. It was fantastic.
Brandon?
Oh yeah, right now I'm too much of a high from it to really get critical on it.
You're still in the honeymoon phase?
Yeah, I'm in the honeymoon phase where I'm seeing it again tomorrow morning, and I can't wait.
You're seeing it again tomorrow morning.
Yep, tomorrow morning.
Okay, all right. Mitch, what about you, brother? Was there a downside?
Not one that I can talk about today. I'll talk to these guys about it when we're off mic. I know. I'm serious. I mean what I say when I really love the movie. I know a lot of people compare this to Saving Private Ryan. I think it has a lot. I think it has a lot more in common with like The Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, that's more what it. Yeah, definitely.
So I think, there's a lot of good stuff here. I think war movie fans will be happy. Star Wars fans will be happy. There's some good drama. So there's a lot going on. But one thing that I think stuck out for me was it was good funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not punny, but funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There are a few jokes in there, but they were just kind of like, just off to the side.
Good tension breakers. There's some like little surprises in there that had me giggling as a fan. As a big Star Wars fan, there's things that pop up that you're like, ha! You either be like,
if you're fans of the original trilogy, there'll be some good things in here for you.
Yes, there's
a lot. And if you aren't a fan of the original trilogy, where are you seeing the movie?
Don't listen to him. Come see the movie. Come to the Hamilton 16 IMAX. GDX.
At least buy a ticket for it and go see something else. Right?
I think this is one we could sit up here and bash this movie for an hour, and I think that it would still sell. Star Wars fans are gonna be here.
All right, smear job time, boys.
No, I was just kidding.
I think Disney's doing a great job with them 2 films in. They're doing.
Yeah.
I was just thinking today, like how happy I am that George Lucas sold this, because he was clearly out of ideas, and now it's given over to people that have new ideas and interesting ways of looking at the Star Wars universe and are actually adding to it, not just rehashing stuff that was done before.
Well, they were the ones that grew up with the original trilogy, so they had all these ideas of where it should have come from and where things should go. So it's kind of awesome having a different generation's input on the output.
Right. Yeah.
They've studied the movies more than George Lucas has.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Now, this movie, Rogue One, it takes place before Episode 4, A New Hope.
Yes.
Yep. So are there any crossover characters?
Yes.
Yes.
Main characters?
Well, Vader is on the the poster.
Well, of course, Vader we know.
So Vader makes an appearance.
And
Vader, man.
And,
wow.
Bail Organa has been a part of marketing in the last couple of weeks. They've been showing photos and interviewing Jimmy Schmitz about it, so we can talk about him. Mon Mothma, from Return of the Jedi, who also was in. They had a younger version of her in Revenge of the Sith, who they brought the actress back to play her here.
Okay.
In Rogue One.
She's great, by the way. I don't know why. I don't feel like I've seen her in many other things, but she's really got a commanding presence. I mean, it's the character, but
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. There's some others that.
Yeah, there are other characters that we did not know about going in.
Yeah.
And then we saw them, and we were very delighted.
Very.
That's what I will say. I won't give you a number of how many there are, but there are a few, and they're not like in there where it's like, okay, here's a little joke to the fans. It's like, no, this makes sense why this character is there, and it's just.
I'll tell you what. With he was mentioning how when he wants to see some like good effects, there are some visual effects in here pertaining to certain aspects. You'll know when you see it that just floored me, and that's what Star Wars originally did, was floor you with visual effects. We'll talk off air, Mitch, but there's
I
parts
agree.
of that
I was
like,
thinking the same thing.
Holy! And I thought it would there's something that I thought would just be used as a little wink, and it wound up being a constant throughout the movie. And I was just every time just wowed, marveling at a visual effect on the screen that I just could not believe.
Doesn't that make it all more intriguing, Jamie?
Why am I still on this podcast?
It is Movie Night with JL Media. Hamilton 16 IMAX is where we do it live every month. Every month through the 2017 year, we're going to be right here, brother.
That's fantastic.
We're going to be right here with Mitch. We're going to be doing it. January, we have our movies lined out. February, we do not yet. You have any idea what we've got coming up the pike for JL Media? I know I'm putting you on the spot. You're not ready for me out
we
here.
definitely have some stuff in February. February tends to be Oscar driven, a lot of our business. So, we'll have some of our. Am I getting that right, or am I thinking January?
January is usually when they start putting the Oscar movies get a little bit wider release, all the limited release ones. But so February too, they'll put them back in theaters.
Yeah. So
February's become kind of a horror month because they just gotta fill in release times.
And we also get
February's been like Deadpool, Die Hard movie. There's been big movies coming out in February.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to. Everybody's trying to drop at least one of their tent poles into February. One of their, I guess we'll call it their minor tent poles.
Yeah.
And well, well,
they all can't be major.
We're not too many years off from 12 months of tent poles. I mean, there's DC Comics, their schedule is lining up on outside months of seasons. I mean, you had Deadpool did huge in February last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm loving that. DreamWorks comfortably put like Kung Fu Panda 3, which could have been a summer movie, in January.
Right. Well, and Captain America is always an April release, and
Yes, pretty much every month. So Marvel versus DC, where do you stand, Brandon?
As far as movies?
As far as movies or what?
Yeah.
Well, Marvel's probably, easily doing the better job. DC's still finding their footing, but they've got a unique voice.
Do you think it's going to come up? Do you think it's going to be more of a battle between the two? DC's got some stuff coming up the pike.
No, they do. But, Marvel's in control and is just, has a consistency with their quality. I think DC's going for a bit more. I think their films are a little more visually interesting, and they're taking chances that Marvel maybe not want to take because DC's got to separate itself from the pack. It's got to find itself and do something, and they're trying to hurry through it. So that has stumbling blocks too. But not to say the films aren't interesting to talk about or see. That's nothing. But Marvel, you go to a movie just because the Marvel logo's on it, you're sure you're going to be entertained.
Right. Now, is there one movie that's standing out to you next year other than the new Star Wars movie?
Oh, next Logan.
One movie?
Logan. That's Marvel, but it's under Fox. It's the X-Men stuff's owned by Fox. It's a whole other thing. But that one looks quite intriguing. It looks like an Old West story, like old gunslinger, one last journey with Wolverine, and sets itself apart from all the other superhero stuff we've seen.
Right.
So, and they've aired, they screened 40 minutes of it last weekend, and people they want to see the rest of it. They were really excited by and they saw it without finished effects for some parts too, and they were really drawn in.
What is going on with Why So Blue?
It's that time of year where people put out top this lists, and we're right now going through all our writers' top 10 to 20 Blu-rays of the year list, and then we'll move that into our top films of the year lists towards the end of the year.
Probably what I should have asked first, for the listeners who don't know, what is Why So Blue?
It's a site I write for. We do Blu-ray reviews. We do new movie reviews. We do interesting editorials. Entertainment website. A little bit more of a Blu-ray, 4K Ultra HD, DVD focus.
This takes a lot of your time.
Some of it,
yeah. It's like every day you got stuff coming out with it.
Yeah, we will record an episode, and we get done like at 1 or midnight, and he's like, all right, well, I got to go watch another movie for a review. Like, oh, my God.
Have you read the reviews on there, Johnny?
No, I haven't.
You know what? You do an outstanding job, man.
Why So Blue, yes.
I went through and read your review of the Transformers, the animated movie, Blu-ray, and I bought it that night. I thought you did such a good job of breaking down why I should buy a movie that was 25 years old.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it. But
and then you popped it in and like, oh, I was suckered.
No, you're right. No, it was amazing, man. Yeah. It was amazing. And but also, you're very thorough and not only just reviewing the film, which I think you do. And one of my problems with critics is always I see a lot of critics out there who don't actually seem to like movies at all.
They forget that they got into it because they were a fan.
Yeah, but you definitely do a good job of giving me a critical sense of what you do and don't like about movies. But I always feel like you're a fan of movies, and that gives a lot of credence to what you're saying. But you do a great job of breaking down the technical specs of the films too, which for audio-visual geek like I chose this living for a reason, you know. Mm-hmm. For a geek like me, it's awesome to see that stuff and to understand, okay, this is a good purchase. They've done something with the audio, they've cleaned up the video, and the video cleanup they did on that particular film was amazing.
Yeah, there's a couple. I sometimes go to other sites and they weren't impressed. I was like, what were you looking for? I mean, this is this is as good as you get. You got to understand the company that's putting it out, the amount of money it costs to do that sort of thing, and the revenue you're going to see back on it, and just like how it has looked the whole time. And I was floored by it, that one particular. I remember that.
Yeah.
I get jealous. I see the pictures that you post. You're getting the Blu-rays in the mail all the time to review. Mm-hmm. Do you know ahead of time what's coming in? Is there a list?
Most of the time, yeah, because you gotta you request them, and
well, that's cool.
With contacts that you get and stuff like that. But sometimes you do, and then you just don't know, and then you'll forget, and it'll show up at like the wrong time when you'll have like a stack of like 7, and they're all due like in 3 days. So like, 'cause I hit deadlines with things. Like I like to see. It's not like tight deadlines, but I like to continue to get the product and have a good relationship with the people I do reviews for. And, you know, I think this needs to be up by the street date, like, or it should be up before to help them with pre-orders, because I'm also a piece of promotion for them as well. And I try to get it there, or by the end of the week it comes out, because after that, no, who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
WhySoBlue.com, BLU.
BLU.
All right. What's the format for Cult Cinema Cavalcade? How do we do this recording? For the listeners who haven't heard this time, it's Rogue One. People are listening tonight, man.
I know. I'm just trying to like how do we record? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
What equipment do we use?
You know me. I'm a location guy, and I like to be sitting at the table. But you guys are like all over the place.
He wants us to say that I'm in my basement.
That's what he wants to say.
Not at
That's what
all.
he wants us to
I
say.
want you to talk about the guys in LA that are always Skyping in, and these big names that.
Yeah, we live in the
I
same.
know Neil Breen's not going to be on the show.
No,
I
he
know
will
that.
not.
We tried, and he got back to us, and he declined.
He politely declined.
And then told us we could buy his movie on this one. So it was really weird. But he was one of the most quickest and cordial people, considering like of guests I've got back to, and they come back like 2 weeks later, like, okay, maybe it's like, I sent you that email how long ago?
Yeah. We've had multiple guests on the show. We've had people that write for Forbes on the show. We've had people that are part of the Fangoria podcast network have guested on the show.
We had people from Collider.
Yeah.
We've
had multiple graphic, like novel artists on the show. And
we've had people who worked did screenings and stuff with
for Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Silent Night, Deadly Night, and
he was
Halloween, the original re-release that now is an annual thing.
Yeah, he was
the guy that kicked it off.
Responsible for getting it cleaned up and back in theaters and in a presentable format. Yeah.
CultCinemaCavalcade.com. Again, how do you pick your movies? Yeah, I'm going to do it again.
I wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, I scratch the back of my head. I think, what does Cullen not want to watch right now?
Yeah, there are some times where we do a movie and I'm looking forward to it because I want to see how crazy it is, and there are other times where I think, oh God, I got to get through this. But overall, it is totally worth it. Before we started the show, we knew there were a list of movies that we wanted to do, and we've through most of that list.
Yeah, we've got pretty much through that. We plowed through that list, and then there's stuff that comes along the way. There's stuff we talk about and we forget we talk about, and
yeah, Neil Breen was a late addition.
It was a late addition. Then we're like, we're just gonna do all his movies at once.
Get them all out of the way, folks. If you don't know who Neil Breen is, I want you to imagine the worst movie you've ever seen, and multiply that by 100.
And then divide it by 3 or 4 now.
Yes. Find the square root, and that's how bad these movies are. Complicated and pointless.
Moving on with JL Media is what we're doing now. We're going to move on from Neil Breen and back to Hamilton 16 IMAX. There's a lot of cosplayers in here tonight, Mitch. Is this a certain group, or are there several groups here?
We have members of the 501st Legion here tonight, and they are all local guys. The 501st Legion is all over the country, but these guys, come in and they give us a call and say, hey, we'd like to have some guys up there for your Star Wars Day, and the guests love it, so we love to have them. And I know their organization does some fundraising and does some other things, so we really love having them here, and they're a great bunch of dudes.
He seemed to be. The
And
crowd is loving
dudettes, not being sexist over here.
That's
and
true.
dudettes.
Yeah, I see I'm going to assume it's a woman dressed as a sand person, lady, however you want to pronounce it, but a female sand person, which I don't know. We have not. I don't think I've seen one of those in person yet, so that's pretty awesome. We've got. See right now, I see a stormtrooper, I see a Jedi, 2 sand people. I'm trying to think. I don't think I saw Boba Fett tonight. But you can almost always. You're guaranteed to find Boba Fett when you see a
Or
cosplayer.
some Mandalorian.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I made my own Mandalorian.
I'm
armor.
Mandalorian, but I'm a Mandalorian that's really into Kiss. Like that kind of stuff.
I'm obsessed with Boba Fett right now. Well, first of all, it's a lifelong obsession. But my next writing project is I'm trying to get a Boba Fett screenplay done and submitted to Disney.
Josh Trank once did that.
Really?
That's what he was working on before they fired him.
Okay. Well, that's
So that's what that third Star Wars story movie possibly is. that
Yeah,
they're
so you
working
better
on.
beat cheeks on it.
Well, I'm pretty far into it, and it's a lot of fun. But I gotta say, like, I want to see the Boba Fett I want to see on the big screen. Like I want the man of few words. You know what I mean?
You mean Attack of the Clones wasn't Boba Fett? You wanted to?
I love that fight between him and Obi-Wan in Attack of the Clones. I thought that was cool.
Well, that was Jango Fett. I'm talking.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I want him calling everyone friend and beating large aquatic animals. That's the Boba Fett that I want to see on the screen.
We'd like to take the time to mention right now that Hamilton 16 IMAX does have a bar. It is called Screen Taps. Sorry, brother.
I haven't had any.
Morgan Cullen is not drinking. I'm just giving him stuff up here. Screen Taps. How's that going over there?
I love having the bar in the theater. We've had a liquor license since 2011. But a couple years ago, we brought the bar downstairs, and it's done nothing but grow. But mostly, it allows people to drink responsibly. I know there are people out there who are concerned about the family environment and alcohol. It's not a lot different than, basically everywhere sells beer. Chuck E. Cheese sells beer. Baseball stadium sells beer. So we had a little pushback on it at first, but we really encourage responsible drinking as far as, limiting drink counts and stuff so people don't get smashed.
Well, no one gets
while
up in
they're
the middle of the
watching
movie
show.
to get another beer or something. No one wants to.
Yeah.
Right.
And who wants to get loaded? Like, let's go watch your movie now.
Well, we have people try,
Yeah.
but
Then they fall asleep or.
they're the small number of people, not the majority. So, but yeah, it's awesome. We're bringing in for passengers. We're bringing in a few flavors. We've got a blueberry wheat. We're bringing in. We tapped a gumball head this week. We've got a Goose Island winter that we've got on tap, and we've added a few other things recently that are doing well, including Ace Pineapple, which people seem to really like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sam Ash has got a lot going on down there. I don't know if you people know this. They have a full stage and setup right in the middle of the venue. You need a liquor license, bro.
We do need a liquor license.
Then you'll have everything.
We've
no
talked
reason to
about
leave.
that, but they will not allow it because the employees actually have to get work done.
That's true.
It's a bunch of musicians, Johnny.
Absolutely
It's
right.
like herding cats that are special needs.
I love every one of them, too. You got something going on there pretty much every night, don't you?
We
that
do.
You're open.
We've got various club nights. Every Monday we have a drum club. Every Tuesday we have a various guitar club. So we have acoustic night, we've got bass night, we've got metal shred night, and we've got blues jam night. Every Wednesday we have an open stage where we have every genre possible. You can come with tracks, you can come with your own instrument, you can use our instruments. Every other week I'm the host, so we do get a little lively in there. I definitely get to criticize all the kids that come through and set them on the right path, which is a lot of fun. On Thursday nights, we have our keyboard jam. On Sundays, we have our jazz jam with special emphasis every second Sunday of the month. We have the Union Jazz Band come in from here in Indy, and they light up the stage. It's about 800 years worth of musical experience.
Wow.
Most of the jazz union members are former Chicago, New York, and LA musicians that have played on literally just countless records. So having all of that experience on our stage, mixed with all of our club nights, there's always something for music and music fans in Indy.
Now, pretty much every instrument you sell there, someone's on staff that can give you lessons in it.
Absolutely. We've got a great teaching staff that's headed up by the Nash family, Rocky and Preston Nash of their own fame. We teach guitar, flute, trumpet, oboe, cello, bass, drums, recording lessons, anything within our realm, you name it, we can teach it.
That's right. They will teach you how to be an engineer, Rich. I need
know.
lessons.
I know. I actually signed up for a class but couldn't make it because I ended up having to be here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I have a friend who does open mic night every Wednesday pretty faithfully.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do we got?
Guy named Justin.
Justin Janik, my man.
Yep.
I actually ran into him at Walmart last night. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a nice
Walmart,
guy,
not
man.
a sponsor of Movie Night with J.O.
Very nice. Very nice. Not yet.
They better send us some coupons.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got to clip them.
Some coupons. I love that. Absolutely love that. Jamie, who's your favorite character in Star Wars?
My favorite
All
character?
the movies.
Oh, man.
Even the prequels that I don't count.
It's Han Solo.
Gotta be.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a badass. He doesn't give up. He just doesn't care what anybody thinks.
Right.
He does his own thing, but as much as he
He cares what his son thinks.
he does care what his son thinks.
He does now.
Now.
I just like his want for disregard and the fact that he can't let his conscience just go.
Yeah.
So
You looking forward to that movie?
absolutely. I mean, this is like the fourth time you've asked that. So
No, I think it's the fourth time in person, but we're on
there's
the radio now, but we're talking about
But
different
there's the
things.
young Han Solo movie that's coming out.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're talking about that one.
Yeah, in 2 years.
yeah,
It's,
it's
no, it's
yeah.
it's like a year from. I think it's a year from this summer. Isn't it? It's the first they're trying to switch to May, so maybe we'll hear about that getting pushed to December. Which I
yeah.
like the December release. You can own this month. You can be the Star Wars month, but they want to get back to summer. They're making summer business in
Yeah,
the winter, so I don't understand.
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
They have Disney has multiple large movies over the summer. It's not like
Well,
they
in
need
the
another
summer,
one.
everybody you're just the next week's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really smart. You know, everybody's real careful about what they drop into the December frame because studios are trying to do two things. They're trying to make their money always, but they also like to drop in movies like Collateral Beauty, which they hope will build some Oscar momentum going into the awards season. And so it's kind of Disney was smart in planting their flag in this week because it allows people to counter program around their Star Wars films, and so I think it's kind of brilliant because this is a 2-week period where kids are out of school.
Yeah. And that's where every film, and then you have January, which flags off and gives these films legs throughout those months through to early February. You can make money pretty good. Rather in the summer, it's now becoming quick kill.
Yeah, you're out in you're still there after 3 weeks, but no one's going to see your movie after 3 weeks. Yeah.
It probably has to do with a fiscal year thing. They're probably trying to get that last bit of revenue by the end of their fiscal year.
That's
so
shareholders is
summer.
another thing we didn't talk about. Yeah, those guys come into play, which is why we got Force Awakens in December and not May the next year. It was because they promised the shareholders there would be a Star Wars film in 2015. And they went to the very end to keep it that because J.J. Abrams was like trying for May.
Yep.
For May 2016.
I'm sure there were many sleepless nights, but screw him. I wanted Star Wars. So we got it in December.
Yeah.
Now, Mitch, there are many different trends here. Like you were saying earlier, that Christmas has been very busy. And, of course, when the kids are out of school in the summertime, I can see it picking up. But are the trends the same in each theater, pretty much? I know you work around with different theaters under the Goodrich banner.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked all over the Midwest as a theater manager. And I can tell you every town is different. Every town has different makeups. So you've got, even in Indianapolis, like within, you've got some theaters that tend to do better with urban films. You have some theaters that tend to do better with comedies. I'm a pretty traditional movie theater. We're, family-driven audience. R-rated films tend not to do as well as anything that's PG-13 or less. We have a pretty conservative community around us. So faith-based films do really well. Animated films are our bread and butter and our big tentpole releases. That's where we make most of our money. Independent films don't do as well here.
Really?
Well, that's. I mean, we usually get them a lot later than most people, so it's hard to say. But like a film like La La Land that recently came out and was kind of a limited release and is quickly expanding. We wouldn't get a film like that on first week typically because we only have so much space. And in a movie theater this busy with traditional content, we have to have many prints of Rogue One. We have to have many prints of Passengers. We have to have many prints of Sing. And it doesn't leave a lot of room for other content. Plus, we also have a pretty robust schedule of extra, non-studio content that we're playing all the time. Things like our flashback cinema.
How do Fathom events do here?
Fathom events do great here. We do.
I enjoy them.
Yeah, we also do the opera, the Met Opera, which people really like. We've had some anime so we just did Spirited Away, and we did 3 engagements of that, and all of them sold out.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we've got a really cool audience. But I've been to some theaters where basically they don't get busy until 9 o'clock to midnight. So it really just depends on where you are. College markets tend to be it just tends to be a later audience. You get a lot of weekday business when you're right next to a campus like Kalamazoo, Michigan, where Western Michigan is. I ran that theater. And you would be as busy at 9 o'clock as you would be for 7 o'clock, and that's pretty unusual.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to answer your question, every theater is a little bit unique. Even though everybody's showing the same things, which I know sounds crazy, but
which I like that you know your audience, and that's really it's one of the funniest things I've ever found. I really enjoy the Keystone Art Cinema in the mall over there. But one of the funniest things is I went up there one summer, and I was like, what, you guys are showing Star Trek Into Darkness here? Like, who goes there to see Star Trek Into Darkness? And unless you like the feel that you're in a rich man's house watching a movie,
Like a private screening
with his 1980s sound.
Did you see Star Trek there that day?
I did not. I went to
Okay.
see I can't remember what I went to see.
I
Maybe
think
that year like Moonrise Kingdom came out or something like that. And
I think
went
the
there,
last
but I was
thing
just
last thing I saw there was Slumdog Millionaire. That's how long it's been.
what was the movie with the guy? I think take place in Thailand, where The Raid?
yeah, the Raid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I had to go to see those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
The Raid and the Raid 2.
that movie was gnarly.
Those were awesome.
So rad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab 400 people for your entertainment.
Yes.
It was like the guy who was writing that screenplay was like, and then he stabs someone, and then he walks 3 feet, and he stabs someone else. Like,
The script was like 5 pages long.
Right.
It just said stab, 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 stab for the whole.
Which
the whole
J.J.
thing.
Abrams was a fan. He brought those 2 guys from the first one on to Force Awakens for the when Han Solo was getting surrounded by the smuggler guys. They were a cameo in there. I thought they were going to do some moves.
No,
Yeah,
And then they just went down like chumps. It's like, okay, it was just like, we're a fan. Please come stand here
right,
for a
right.
bit. But those Raid movies, there's a plan like the 3rd one. It's supposed to be a trilogy, but I don't know what they're going to do. But man, those are you're wiped out after watching both.
Oh,
those.
yeah.
Like, oh man.
It's a workout.
Someone needs a nap.
Speaking of movies in that genre, is anybody else excited for John Wick 2?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes,
Oh,
I was
man.
telling Johnny, I'm like, are you guys doing John Wick 2 here? Because I love
need to
John
be.
Wick.
I went into John Wick just on a whim. My buddy and I was like, dude, you want to just go catch a flick? Like, and I don't do that too often. I'm not casual about when I'm here on my day off. It's usually like a plan. But I stepped into the movie for a minute when I was doing my walkthroughs, and I was like, this is kind of weird. This is different than I was expecting. It's got kind of a very repetitive, like, cool soundtrack, and all the action and stuff is pretty impressive.
It's innovative. Like there's this studio out there that does like action training sequences and like how to like film or act in action sequence, and they were brought on to do that movie, and man, that was so cool. And you tell people about it, and they're like, and then they see it, they're like, oh my gosh, it was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so
John
rad.
Wick is really, really cool. And the guy who did John Wick's making, he's now attached to the Highlander reboot that they've been doing
That's
for years. So I'm like,
so exciting.
I was like, that could be really, really cool.
I'm a huge fan of the Highlander. I almost watched it again last night. I've seen it probably, I don't know, maybe more than 1,000 times in my life.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm so
That
excited.
first one's just a kind of a like experience, like musically, it's like music coming together and like scenery, and it's a fun movie. Second one though,
Oh man! I think I almost I think I saw that movie when I was 13. It came out when I was 13 or 14, and I was
Okay.
so excited. And I think I started to like cry a little bit. And my best friend, who was like not having that at all, was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just wanted it to be so good."
Yeah.
The fact that they were aliens
Oh,
from the planet
man.
Zeist was such a horrible twist.
It's like porcupine spacemen that are also Highlanders, or it was a mess.
at least Michael Ironside was in it.
And Virginia Madsen.
Yeah, very true.
It didn't help their careers, but no, the theatrical cut of that hasn't been seen since VHS. They've never put that on DVD. It's always been that renegade recut version, and you can find you can find rips of that old VHS, or pay $90 for a VHS to get that theatrical cut. But that has not been. That's a weird film that the theatrical cut hasn't been seen since like the 90s.
Yeah, and the strange thing is Russell Mulcahy, the director. Like the first film showed so much potential. Like there's some really cool transition cuts. Like the one of the ones I love is when there's a mural of Mona Lisa on the side of a building in New York, and it zooms into her eye, and then the camera zooms back out, and you're Christopher Lambert in ancient Scotland. Like I love stuff like that, and the movie has so many little things that are really cool, like that. Even though like some of it's a little bit like
Sean Connery's the Spaniard.
Yeah, it's some of it's a little bit corny. Like I love it, but I know I'm watching. I'm like, okay, I get why.
But it works as a cool retro movie now. Like there was a period where maybe it didn't work like that, and now when you can like appreciate like what a an era did for a movie and how to watch it of that, then it's more you can look back on it more fondly. The third one though had a cool idea because at the end there can be only one. There's one. It's over. But they had the idea with Mario Van Peebles, like he was frozen. Like he got caught frozen in some cave or whatever, and they thawed him out, and it's on again.
Right.
So that was a cool idea to bring back. Better than Aliens.
The show really wasn't that bad. The first couple seasons was pretty good, and then it got really interesting with the twists on who became Highlanders, and I don't know. It was very awkward after a few seasons, but it went on for like 7 years.
And they just had a movie like a couple years ago called like Highlander: The Source, which was another one.
How was it?
I heard it was awful. I didn't see it.
Man.
I fell asleep too.
I remember Endgame. I went into
Endgame made me mad because I was a movie fan, and it was like totally written by the TV show people.
Well, and it was kind of like a romance novel almost. Like there's a lot of hot, sweaty, hairy-chested lovemaking going on that was kind of weird. I was like, man, I don't know.
Well, it was like on UPN, so it was like the budget network anyway. And the fact that the same people, they got like a $10,000 budget for the movie.
Yeah, and so. Christopher Lambert had like visible hair plugs. I remember
oh,
noticing
yeah,
that.
dude,
like,
it was awful.
Dude.
Yeah, the one complaint I have about Rogue One was not enough Highlander.
Swords, lightsabers.
Just one.
Darth Vader has one. He's
just
in
one
Rogue
Queen song.
I would agree with that.
I would be fine with seeing Christopher Lambert in a Star Wars movie, by the way.
I'd do that. I'd take that.
Yeah. By the way, any big Greystoke fans here?
Yeah, hello. Tarzan for the modern age.
That's right. Right on.
I'd love to see Neil Breen in the Star Wars.
I would not like to see that. I don't want that anywhere. He stays away from Star Wars.
It is movie night with JL Media. We are at Hamilton 16 IMAX, Goodrich Quality Theater in the beautiful Hamilton Town Center, right down the street from Jamie Jackson's house. Jamie, have you ever seen an IMAX projector?
The projector, no.
The projector.
Is it cool?
We're going to sweet talk Mitch and see if we can get you in there tonight before we get out of here.
Oh my goodness!
It is absolutely amazing.
I believe it's so large they have to drop a helicopter has to be brought in to drop it in. Is that correct, or am I making that up?
No, it has to be put in by crane.
Oh my God.
Or
Still.
by I guess in our situation,
which is almost as cool.
We were able to use a big lift on a
But still,
Thingamabob, yeah.
You need industrial equipment.
A forklift.
A
big forklift, yeah. And then the thing that's different about our IMAX is it was intentionally built as an IMAX screen as opposed to being a retrofit.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things we had to do. We had to build a door on the side of the building that goes nowhere, and that we ended up walling in just for the purpose of bringing in the original screen. So there's a lot of stuff. It's got an entirely separate elevation for its booth. And when it was originally built, it was a 70 millimeter house. So we also had to have the floor reinforced and all that stuff so that you could have thousands and thousands of pounds of films up there. Sure. Each film weighed like 700 pounds
Sweet Moses.
and was, I would say, as big as a tractor wheel.
Yeah.
They were huge. So
That's mother-in-law.
That's why your screen's
Yeah, it
bigger
is.
than some
Bucket
of the
of
other
chicken.
like multiplex IMAXs around. Like,
yeah, I mean, I never like to. I think it's bad form to poo-poo other people's screens. But if you're ever looking for a legitimate IMAX screen, we definitely have one here.
Because
So
I've been to other IMAXs and multiplexes in town, and I'm like, that's not that big of a screen. Am I looking at it right? And this place has got a bigger. The museum's huge.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And
museum's a little bit bigger than ours. I think.
well, they're one of like 15 like old school true IMAXs left in the nation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they project film, but I mean yours is better than the. I mean,
Now,
the
you know what the
all
museum
other
doesn't
digital
have? Movie night with JL Media. We are live right here at Hamilton 16 IMAX. It's Brandon and Cullen from Cult Cinema Cavalcade. Gentlemen, any party words?
Party words?
Parting.
Parting.
You know I'm eating popcorn over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Cult Cinema Cavalcade.
Yeah. Check us out.
There we are.
I got thrown off.
CultCinemaCavalcade.com, at CC Cavalcade. Cullen is at My Name is Cullen.
Brandon is at BT Peters on Twitter.
Mail at CultCinemaCavalcade.com. You check us out. We got an episode Monday, and then we'll be gone for 2 weeks, and we'll be back with End of Days. And in January, the 13th falls on a particular day of the week, so we'll be doing one of our special episodes.
Okay. That's what we're going to do right there. Mr. Jamie Jackson of Sam Mash and the insanely popular Moxie. How you doing, brother?
Doing great.
Thanks for finally making it up here, man.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate the invite. This has been quite spectacular.
As a sponsor of JO Media, you need to come on more of my shows. man.
If I can, I will. Between running the store and being in the band, it's hard to have any free time.
Well, you got managers on every corner over there at Sam Mash, and still.
You still got to watch over them.
Oh, man. You got some good people over there. I'm
We
a
do.
fan of a lot of them. Not only great musicians, but they're good guys as well.
We're really lucky, man.
Great associates at Sam Mash. Get in there, get something. Tell them Johnny sent you. Tell them you want your 15%. And hug Jamie's neck, too. He expects it.
Absolutely, every time.
A quick shout out to the Jasons over at Habitat for Humanity, Hamilton County. Check out the Restore. They've got sales going on pretty much every month. Hell, they'll hug your neck, too, when you go up in there.
Habitat for Humanity. We habitat for humanity.
My man Mitch, Rogue One is tonight, man.
And tomorrow and Sunday.
No, I'm gonna tell you
all
right
next
now.
week.
This place, well, you guys are sitting here. You could barely walk through this lobby. It was so packed. When Jamie made it in here, he came through the crowd, and the crowds couldn't even part for him. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited about it. We're going to try and have stuff going on all weekend, so we hope people come out and have a good time. You can go to goodrichqualitytheaters.com or fandango.com and search up Hamilton 16 IMAX and GDX, and that's where you can get your tickets. In addition to our gorgeous IMAX screen, we also have our giant digital experience, or GDX house, where we've added a floating screen, which actually has a unique kind of screen that's a higher gain, super bright picture. It's also the home of our Atmos surround sound system. We're really proud of it, and I hope people check it out in that format. It's gorgeous.
That is very cool. Very cool. So what time do you open the Monday morning? That's probably when I'm going to be here. 11 o'clock? Is that when we do the first show?
Doors, I believe doors open. First show is at 10:20 on Monday, so
See?
doors open at 9:50.
That's how how interested I am. Come to the movies on a Monday morning, though.
I love watching movies during the week.
Oh, I do too. Again, I invited the boys from Cult Cinema Cavalcade to come watch Halloween with me on the big screen, but no, they had day jobs and everything. They're all adulting, and well,
You get us on your payroll. We'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
We'll go see.
I'd much rather get paid from you. Yeah.
every one of you guys, I love you to death. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny.
It is Rogue One, Hamilton 16 IMAX. That is where you need to see it. That's what we're about to do. Until next month. Thanks, guys.
JL Media today.
Bing, bing.